Inland Sports.
Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy, Pep Fernandez. Right now, we're going to do the Boost Top 25 after Week 6 of the high school football season, the first week of league play. And again, I just ask you guys to do me a favor. If you're looking at the rankings on Instagram or Twitter or wherever you're looking at, do me a favor, at least go and watch the video before you make your comments. I love hearing from you guys. I really do. Even the ones that have crazy ideas, and I'm like, why would they even think that? I love to hear those anyways. I love all the comments, but just watch the video because sometimes you're asking me questions that I already answered in the video, so go watch it. So anyways, if you guys get to do that, I'd really appreciate it. So without further ado, let's check out the Boost Top 25 again after Week 6, and we got some big games coming up this week again. Centennial against Roosevelt, Citrus Valley against Cajon. So we got some real meaningful games coming up. And actually, as you're about to see in the rankings, we have our very first tie this week. We have a very complicated formula that we use to calculate the rankings. And Yucaipa and Murrieta Mesa both checking in at number 24. And there's Paloma Valley at 25. I'll tell you what, I would say on the right-hand side of your screen, 11 through 25, it's all very close. It's all very, very close. We got Centennial at number 1. No one's going to argue against that for right now. And then after that, on the left side of the screen, those are kind of the same teams that we've seen all season long in the top 10. But on the right side, it's a real logjam. And we got 3 teams still working on undefeated seasons: Eisenhower, Liberty, and Orange Vista. We'll talk more about that in just a second. But our first tie, Yucaipa and Murrieta Mesa, as the Rams from Murrieta Mesa get into the rankings for the first time this season. So that's cool to see. And listen, I think we, maybe at some point, I don't know, maybe when we wrap up the regular season, we'll have some bubble teams because there's several teams on the bubble. And here's the problem, and I'm going to just point out 2 of them. So a lot of people are hitting me up about Patriot. Should Patriot be in the top 25? And here's what I have to say about that. So Grand Terrace beat Patriot head-to-head, and we had Grand Terrace in the rankings, I think, for about 2 weeks, and then they slid out, but they could get back in. So, you know, Patriot could belong in the top 25, but they lost that head-to-head to Grand Terrace, and we just took Grand Terrace out. So that's the challenge right now with Patriot. And the other team that I wanted to bring up that should be or could be in the top 25, besides Patriot, is Moreno Valley. You see, the Moreno Valley Vikings have a real shot to be in the top 25, but they lost head-to-head against the 25th ranked team, Paloma Valley. So the Vikings have to find another way to get in. But, some of those teams that are in the top 25 right now are going to have to stub their toe. But the Moreno Valley Vikings, the Patriot Warriors, Norta Vista, that's another team that's knocking on the door. Tockwitz has a big game coming up against San Jacinto, so they could make a case to be in the top 25. So I don't know. I think at some point we're going to have some bubble teams, a list of bubble teams, so you guys know who is knocking on the door. But that's some of our reasoning of how we get to the top 25. So speaking of those undefeated teams, Orange Vista kicking off Ivy League play. And listen, I think I underestimated Orange Vista this year. They had a good senior class last year. They lost some dudes, but they are loaded. In fact, they might be even better this year. Head coach Greg Zomalt really has these guys playing a high level of football. They are 6-0 on the year. Big win against JW North to kick off Ivy League play this past week. They won by 20. So they're undefeated. Eisenhower is undefeated at 6-0. And we also got the Liberty Bison, man. Head coach Craig Broach, his first real varsity season with the Bison, and they still have not lost, beating a very good West Valley team in convincing fashion. 35-0 the final score. I know some of you reached out to me and said, hey, West Valley should be in the top 25. And, this past week, and I'm like, you're not wrong. You might be right, but let's see what they do against Liberty. And Liberty won 35-0. And again, Liberty 6-0 on the year. I know they have no seniors. I know it's their first true varsity season, but they're that good already. I mean, we can't deny it. So, anyways, that's how we kind of get to our top 25. And again, if you guys want to leave a comment, go for it. We encourage it. We want to hear from you guys. We love it. But do me a favor, watch the video as well. If you're watching it right now, thank you guys so much, because we're answering a lot of the questions that you have in our comment section. And again, you guys want to see some of the bubble teams, some of the teams that are just on the outside trying to get in the top 25. We might be doing that in the coming weeks, because we got a lot of good teams. I mentioned some of them: Moreno Valley, Patriot, Norte Vista. I don't want to leave anybody out, but there's some teams out there having really good, strong seasons that are on the verge. They're right there on the cusp of the Boost Top 25. If you're watching this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it. And we also have a thanks button on each of these videos if you'd like to financially support what we do here at Inland Sports. I'm Pep Fernandez, and we will see you next time.